Tommy Curran, how we doing this week? Tommy?
Oh, no.
Top of the world. Top of the world.
Hello?
Top
There
of
he
the
is.
world.
Got him.
Hello.
All right, excellent.
Tommy, hi.
He's on top of the world.
I had you muted because I was hopping into my vehicle
Got it.
because I have to get up to my studio, and I didn't want the beep, beep, beep.
I got it.
Yeah.
Probably a flex car is probably what you were
Like our
hopping
Patriots
into.
Friday guests. with
Yes.
the in and out of the cars.
Who's that? Who does that?
Well, I'm not going to say Christian Gonzalez, but it may have been the top corner on the team.
Yeah,
but
we
that's
don't
all
want
right.
we don't want to name any names, but Gonzo. Yeah. We were just playing I don't know if you heard it, Tom. But we were.
I
Just
did.
playing-
I heard the clip.
Okay.
I heard the clip, and I'm glad you used that because I really think it's a fascinating conversation. And as this season goes along, we've all discussed, okay, what's 2024 really about for the Patriots? It's about developing their franchise quarterback. We get into the weeds a little bit and start watching the games, and we're like, oh, my God, they got to block better. You got to get the wide receivers developed. What's else? Still, the upshot from 30,000 feet is develop the rookie quarterback that you took third overall, that you decided you would do that as opposed to building the line or drafting a Malik Neighbors or a Marvin Harrison Jr. So what does that mean if he has to get on the field? Because Jacoby Brissett has been a nerf quarterback so far, but at some point, sadly, the rubber's going to meet the road and he's going to meet the bench. Hopefully it's not bad. But that means Drake Maye's on the field. Is that a good thing? Can he survive that? Can he actually surprise us in a way? Or can he end up looking like Caleb Williams or Bryce Young or Sam Darnold or Geno Smith or Zach Wilson and be undone by the adversity he faces?
So a lot has been made of the 30% practice snaps for Drake Maye. Do you think that has as much to do with just getting the guy ready, or maybe the fears that you have that, look, Jacoby Brissett can only take so many hits, so we have to prepare this guy because we might see him. Even if it's not based on performance, it might be based on injury. How did you read all of the 30% reps at practice for Maye?
Yeah, I think that's a dual purpose, Rich. Get him ready because he is the third overall pick, but get him ready because he's your backup, and he hasn't played enough NFL football. You know, you're not splitting that with, Bailey Zappi last year when he was the backup necessarily because he had seen some time, but Drake Maye remains. I mean, Bailey Zappi had, much more experience in his college career than Drake Maye did at North Carolina. Obviously, quite different talent levels for the two players, but at least you knew that he knew where he was supposed to go and could get you, hopefully, in and out of bad plays, diagnose some defenses. Drake Maye remains kind of a blank slate in terms of what he knows, and he seemed to be catching on quickly. But if he has to hit the field, you have to be able to throw the ball on 3rd and 8. You can't just say, okay, well, he doesn't know. We don't want to get him killed, and we can't keep playing regular football. We have to play quarterback doesn't know what he's doing football. Let's not get him hurt. And that, to me, is the crux of the conversation that we had in April when we asked Elliot Wolf, can you support a quarterback, a rookie quarterback? He's like, what are you talking about? I don't even get that question. This is what we mean.
Yeah, no, that's a good jumping off point for that. There's no doubt about it. It's time now for Tommy Curran's Flex of the Game, presented by FlexCar. You can ditch the dealership and save thousands with FlexCar. What have you thought of Jacoby Brissett thus far? He has been a quarterback who's excelled at avoiding taking sacks. He hasn't made a lot of plays down the field to the wide receivers. The offense has struggled to do anything beyond run the football. How do you feel about Jacoby Brissett through 2 weeks?
I think there's plenty of fans out there who are going to roll their eyes when I say that I think he's been excellent, but he's been excellent.
Excellent.
I mean, it's excellent. Given the situation, given what we saw last year, given what would be the result, look, you have to go with what the situation is around him. Would Aaron Rodgers be better in this situation? I don't know. He doesn't have any wide receivers. He doesn't have any protection. I'm not saying that Jacoby Brissett is Aaron Rodgers, but there is a point at which chicken poop cannot be made. Excuse me. Chicken salad cannot be made out of chicken poop. We saw it with Tom Brady in myriad times over 20 years where he has no wideouts, no protection. 2013, the beginning of that season, is a smoking gun piece of evidence if you want to look back at how bad it looked. There was a game against the Jets in the rain when Aaron Dobson and Taylor Price might have been his wide receivers. He threw the ball to Julian Edelman like 19 times and completed 13 for an average of 6.6 yards.
That is a wide receiver.
Yes. And that was that's kind of analogous to what the Patriots are looking at right now. So that Jacoby Brissett has kept the team in the games and has not done some kind of mind-bending, ridiculous gaffe through 2 games. And I would not call his taking a 7-yard sack or whatever it is.
9 yards.
Set up an 8-yard.
That was a big play. That was a big play, Tom. That was a big, that was a 39-yard field goal to a 48-yard field goal. That's a big loss. That's a big, and especially because that's the kind of guy that shouldn't take that sack. Yeah.
Rich, you could say it's a big play, but it's not going from the 25 to the 43 and setting up a 60-yard field goal. We've seen that kind of trash play. So when we look at, yes, is it a good play? No, it sucks. It's not what you're looking for, but it's not what we've seen in terms of meltdowns. So, and given the situation he's facing, yeah, he's not perfect, but given the situation, given objectively speaking, he's not been great. Given the situation, he's been excellent.
So in overtime, and I know this is an entire offense, it's not just Jacoby Brissett, but 4th and 1 on your own 39, and Ja'Whaun Maye doesn't have the confidence, and he might be right, but he doesn't have the confidence in the offense to pick up a yard. What did you think of that call?
I'm with him. Let your defense play defense. You can't lose the game right there. I feel I'm a game extender. That's why I agreed with what Seattle did at the end of regulation. Kick the field goal, extend the game. Don't lose the game right there.
Yeah.
Especially. So to me, I'm a game extender unless you have a unique quarterback on the other side. You have to say, okay, well, if we give it to him, we know he's going to score. I don't think that I felt that way.
No, I get it. And I think this team, even though the defense wasn't great, especially in the first half, the defense is certainly far superior to the offense. But now they lose another player off of the defense in Ja'Whaun Bentley. How significant of an injury is that? And who's going to have to sort of step up and fill that role?
It's a big deal, certainly, as you guys already know and have talked about, I'm sure. He and Tavai together have been a really excellent combination, and I think that he unlocks a lot of guys in the defense to play at different levels because he knows what he's doing. It's the same way Ja'Whaun Maye used to kind of unlock a guy like Brandon Spikes or Hightower when Hightower was young. Bentley would have things on lockdown with the details, and other guys got to play faster. So, it's going to put a player like Raekwon McMillan probably further up in the food chain, and he is not a similar player to Bentley in that he's a little faster, a little slimmer, and he's been a little more injury-prone than Bentley. So it will certainly change their defense. Will they be as stout against the run as they have been? How will they operate against a uniquely talented and one of the better players in the NFL, Breece Hall? All of that stuff is going to be in focus on Thursday night on a short week.
Tommy Curran, NBC Sports Boston, on a Tommy Tuesday here on Jones and Keefe. We've discussed today, Tom, it seems like there's a little bit of mounting frustration, and maybe it's typical after a loss in the NFL, so maybe this is just, hey, it's every single week with every single team. You're frustrated when you lose. Pop Douglas, though, seemed annoyed, to put it mildly. I mean, Chukwuezekorofo left the team. Hunter Henry seemed to second-guess Ja'Whaun Maye's choice in overtime with us yesterday. What do you make of, at least my feeling, that there's some mounting frustration with the coaching staff, the quarterback play? Is that an accurate read?
Yeah, mounting frustration that's not about to turn into Vesuvius, though. I think that's where we have to put it in context. You I think, illustrated it well at the beginning. Your frustration is, hey, we lost. There's a guy on the radio who's asking me why we lost. Might as well be honest about it because this is the year of transparency. And the same thing goes for Pop Douglas. Be transparent. Okay, I'm not getting the ball. I really wish I was. I feel like I'm open. You guys can all watch the film, and there are occasions where I'm open. Why is that not happening? And to express it. But it's what is that frustration leading to? I think in Chukwuezekorof's case, you had a guy who was already seemingly not that psyched about being in Pittsburgh. I'm not saying shot his way out of town, but somehow was deemed expendable, came here, was told he was going to be a left tackle. I can't imagine that the first time he heard about it was after he signed. And then he's like, I don't really love playing left tackle. I'm not used to this. So maybe a little more vetting of what his mindset would be when he got here. would have been good by Elliott Wolf and his crew, but not done, and he's not here. So I think there's definitely frustration, but I don't think it's moving towards insubordination. Do you?
Well, I was questioning that, but I'll take your word for it. On Pop Douglas.
What do you think? I mean, it's 2 weeks in.
I'm saying I'm questioning it. So I think that, it seems more than just typical frustration. You know, if guys going AWOL week 2 throughout the league or wide receivers questioning.
Context-wise, I think that's a unique situation with a Corafor.
It's part of why I go there.
So you?
Maybe. It's part of why I go there. When it comes to Pop Douglas, do you think he's right? Do you think he's open when you watch the film?
Yeah.
Do you think he's open?
Yes. Like, for instance, look at the play where on the final play of the third quarter, it's 1st and 10 from the 22 of Seattle. Douglas goes in motion right to left. It looks like it's a play set up specifically for him. The edge rusher comes off. I'm not sure which guy it was. The edge rusher comes off. He's there, but he's not impossible for Jacoby Brissett to deal with and negotiate. You know, fake high, throw low, bloop it over his head. Figure it out. Because you have a playmaker and it's first down and you're not about to put it into major harm's way. Just get it to him, and if he takes a loss, he takes a loss. Instead, Brissett eschews the opportunity to throw it to him and drops back 15 yards to throw it off his back foot back to the line of scrimmage where a sliding Hunter Henry makes the catch and picks up 11. Yay, first down, that's great. I love it. It's just a low percentage play. So that's where I look at Jacoby Brissett and we talk about, I said excellent given the circumstances, but if we talk about it objectively, that's not an awesome play. I mean, it's not necessary. You could have just figured it out, figured a way to get it to Pop Douglas. So in my time in the NFL, I would have figured that out, but he couldn't.
Do you think?
I'm being.
No, I know. Do you think that Pop Douglas? Tom, do you think that Pop Douglas's frustrations, and it could very well be both, but do you think it's more with Jacoby Brissett missing him when he's open, or is it more with maybe Alex Van Pelt for maybe the lack of snaps or even the lack of plays specifically designed for him?
I think it's probably all of it.
Yeah.
I would probably guess that it has more to do with Brissett. There was a completion to Polk last week, the only completion to Polk. Brissett was even more open coming across the middle with no one around him as a crosser. So I don't think anyone's saying don't throw it to Mario Douglas, right. But when the play starts, I think Brissett is of a mind that, well, I'm going to go to KJ Osborne because he's been in this kind of offense and he's a veteran and I trust him. Hunter Henry, boy, he's big compared to Mario. I can see him. I'll give it to him. My thing is get it out of my hand. I'm parroting Jacoby Brissett right now. Get it out of my hand, make positive yards, don't get us in trouble. And that's how he's operating right now. They just don't have plays to waste. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. When you're going first down, second down, third down, hopefully we get a first down, time after time, they don't have the luxury the way the Patriots of Brady and McDaniels did of saying, oh, let's see what happens if we do 5 motions and then figure out whether we can flip it out to a back weekend out here. They just don't have plays to waste. And I think that they look at that as we have to make positive numbers on every single play. But they do have to get Brissett unlocked. They have to get Demario Douglas unlocked because they're too easy to defend right now.
All right, he's Tommy Curran, NBC Sports Boston. Tommy Tuesdays here on Jones and Keefe. You can watch him on Quick Slant. Did I see 15 years of Quick Slants? Did I see that?
Woo!
15 years.
Wow.
And no Jones yet. And no Jones guest appearances.
Well, let me tell you, that's probably a streak that the fans of
going,
Quick Slants
Tom.
want to keep that one going. That's true.
We can break that this year. We can break that this year.
Oh, maybe. So that's tonight on NBC Sports Boston. He's Thursdays with WEEI afternoons, Arcan and Hart.
Real quick, Tom, you got him pulling off the upset on Thursday against the Jets?
Yes.
No, I don't.
All right.
All right. The way Gino operated and just, said, I know what you're doing. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a little bit easier time. And it's a tough spot. Another competitive loss,
okay.
22-17.
Okay,
nice.
good.
22-17.
Oh, that covers it.
Sounds like an over and a cover.
6?
Oh, yeah.
5.5, 6. So, yeah, that's a cover.
An over and a cover. All right.
Love it.
Tommy Curran, we appreciate it. Thanks so much.
All right, guys. See ya.
All right, thank you, Tom.